We were studying different evidences of geophysics or Indian plate tectonic. In that series, there is very important point that shifting of Kosi Valley is the result of subduction of Malda Gap. Here, you should locate the Kosi Valley and Malda Gap. And as we know that the valley of Kosi river is shifting westward. At the same time, this Malda Gap is undergoing subduction. Although the shifting of Kosi Valley is the result of exogenic forces, but it is also controlled by the endogenic or tectonic force, and the westward shifting of Kosi Valley may be related with the subduction of Malda Gap. As we know that here between Rajmahal Hills and Meghalaya Plateau, Malda Gap is undergoing subduction, which has two causes. Number 1, sedimentation of voluminous alluvium by Brahmaputra and Ganga system. Number 2, eastward tilting of the eastern margin of Indian plate. Due to it, Malda Gap is subducting. Its evidences are several. For example, at the depth of 15 meter to 150 meter, erect Sundari trees are found. It means those are the result of subduction. And if we make a lineament from here Andaman Nicobar or barren volcanic site and Malda Gap and river Kosi and Everest mountain, along this line tectonic activities are taking place rapidly, and here two processes are operating. Number 1, here subduction, and due to eastward movement, melting in the Venice zone. Number 2, due to northeastward movement of Indian plate, especially this plateau land, the height of Everest is rising. Thus, the shifting westward of this Kosi river may be ascribed to the subduction along this line. That's why Commission may have a question that explain that the shifting of Kosi Valley is the result of subduction of Malda Gap. Second point is formation of Ganga Delta. Ganga Delta is located here. Its large part is in Bangladesh. It is undergoing subduction due to the same two processes. Number 1, sedimentation by Brahmaputra, Ganga system, Meghna and its distributaries. Number 2, the subduction of eastern margin of Indian plate. Due to it, Ganga Delta is the largest delta in the world under formation, and it is also advancing towards the Bay of Bengal. Because of voluminous sediment brought down by the rivers coming from the Himalayan range. Previously, Ganga Delta was along the line connecting the western part of Meghalaya and eastern part of Rajmahal. But today, active delta is here along the coast of the head of this Bay of Bengal. There are 4 delta on the basis of maturity and immaturity. In the northernmost part, it is moribund delta, then immature delta, then mature delta, then active delta. Thus, the change in this Gangetic delta is also an evidence of plate tectonic, especially in this region. And here, New Moor Island has just been formed at the mouth of Hariyabhanga River, draining through along the border of Bangladesh and West Bengal. Like this New Moor Island, a number of islands of alluvial formation are taking place due to distributaries of Meghna and other systems. Thus, this is also a tectonic evidence. Next point is 1700 feet deep freshwater lake along Shivalik, according to ONGC Island Natural Gas Commission. If we locate Shivalik range here, Shivalik range is the youngest folded mountain of Himalaya system, lying in the southern part, and ONGC expected that the gas and petroleum deposits are largely found in sedimentary rock. The largest expansion of sedimentary rock in India is Himalayas. Expecting the rich deposit of petroleum gas, ONGC drilled the Shivalik range. At the depth of 1700 feet, there was a rich deposit of freshwater lake. In spite of petroleum, they got the freshwater lake. There one question arose, why this freshwater lake? Then geologists explained it on the basis of tectonic activities or paleochannel found here. In the place of Shivalik, there was a river which was Shivalik River or Indo-Brahma River. That river deposited sediment, alluvium, due to tectonic forces and northward movement of Indian plate and the advancement of the northern margin of Indian plateau land. Out of Shivalik river emerged Shivalik mountain. Thus, in the alluvial structure, the water that was stored during paleochannel of Shivalik remained, and it is a freshwater lake. Thus, the availability of rich deposit of fresh water in Shivalik region is also an evidence of geophysics of India. Although ONGC failed in its target, even then the deposit of fresh water or availability of fresh water in Shivalik has a good future prospect for the plain dwellers, because in Gangetic plain, since its origin and existence, the subsurface water deposits are there. But the civilization especially flourished after 1950s, after independence, is exploiting this valuable water resource, and it is depleting as well as getting polluted. That's why in near future the Gangetic plain dwellers may face this water crisis. For that critical period, this freshwater lake found in Shivalik region at the depth of 1700 feet will prove boon. That's why if nature takes something from us in turn, nature, benign mother, showers mercy on us. For example, as for the crisis of the water in Gangetic plain, this freshwater lake in Shivalik will prove boon. In the same way, for Rajasthan, in Jaisalmer and western districts, there is Paleo-channel of Indo-Brahma having the same type of fresh water, which will be used by these people. And if we minutely observe these two rivers, means here Shivalik rivers or Indo-Brahma river reached here, and here it was named in geological past as Paleo-channel of Saraswati, and these both will prove a boon for water crisis for the people in northern India. Next point is changing of course of Indo-Brahma due to Delhi rising. We have generally discussed that Indo-Brahma river was here in northern India. Here was river Indus draining in the northwestern part of India in today Pakistan, and river Brahmaputra called Sampo in Tibet region of China entered India through Korba Gorge and drained westward along the line where today Shivalik range is located, and this moved west. It included the waters of river Ganga and Jamuna originating from Himalayas, and Ganga and Jamuna both used to meet westward in Haryana, and they drained into this Indo-Brahma river, especially Brahma river, and when this joined Indus, both were called Indo-Brahma. But because this Brahmaputra was the longest tributary of Indo-Brahma, hence it was named Indo-Brahma. It means the direction of Indo-Brahma in geological past was from east to west. Why its direction was changed? It is explained by geological facts. As we know that the western part of India, due to northward movement of Indian plate, collided with Tibet near Dras. In that incidence, the western part, this plateau land, underwent a linear pressure, due to which the western part was raised. Aravalli was also raised. Raised does not mean that it was uplifted. Rather, it was emerged, because the upliftment of Aravalli was in geological past from Aravalli geosyncline. When this was raised, undoubtedly at the same time, due to northeastward pressure of the northern margin of Indian plateau, this Shivalik mountain emerged out of Shivalik geosyncline, or the southern geosyncline of Tethys Ocean. Due to rising of this Shivalik, the waters of this Brahmaputra and the waters of Ganga and Jamuna, the waters of this Brahmaputra was filled here, and the same time the waters of Ganga and Jamuna used to move eastward due to obstacle caused by the rising of Shivalik. Thus, the northern trench lying between Himalayan range and the northern margin of Indian plateau was filled with water. Thus, geologically and geophysically, we can explain that the direction of Indo-Brahma river was changed due to rising of Delhi ridge. That is geophysical change. Next point is 8,000 to 6,000 meter deep alluvium in Ganga plain and deeper northward and eastward, and it has been studied with the help of aeromagnetic survey. If we observe alluvial deposit in the Gangetic plain between the Himalayas in the north and plateau land in the south, here there is thick deposit of alluvium. Now, the thickness of this alluvium has been measured by drilling and especially by the scientific method, that is aeromagnetic survey. On the basis of aeromagnetic survey, we can find the thickness of different structures and rocks. There may be a question by commission whether the depth of alluvial deposit will increase from south to north, means from the plateau land to the southern foothill of Himalayas, or it will decrease. This is a question to be solved by you. And as you know, the geophysical changes mechanism of India means the northern margin of Indian plateau is going northeastward and subducting. Subduction means its northern margin has gone down and the southern margin comparatively up. It means if you start moving from south to north, the thickness of alluvium will increase. In south, here along the northern margin of this plateau, you may get alluvial deposit of few inches, then few feet, then few hundred feet. But at the northern margin, means along the southern margin of Shivalik, its depth is 8,000 meter. It means near about 8 kilometer. It shows Aries and Pratt's view that the height of mountain tells its depth of root. It means here trench was originally about 8 kilometer or 8,000 meter deep. That's why here Everest is also nearly 8 kilometer high. One question may be fired by UPSC or Commission with this respect. Question is, while moving from west to east from Delhi to Patna or Dhaka, whether the thickness of alluvium will increase or decrease? Answer is the same. It will increase. Why? Because this is Aravalli system and it is made up of oldest folded rocks. It has been geophysically raised up. Thus the plateau land slopes from west to east. It means trench formed in the beginning was deeper in the eastern part and shallower in the western. That's why if you move from west to east, Delhi to Patna or Dhaka, certainly the thickness of alluvium will increase. Next point is magnetic declination of all the places of India is changing. This is very significant sentence. Magnetic variation of Allahabad in 1970 from true north was about half degree west. Topographical sheet number 63 G by 10, which is decreasing by about 1 minute per year. What is magnetic declination? This we have already discussed in the astronomy. To simplify here, magnetic declination means this is Allahabad, and from Allahabad, if you put a point indicating towards the geographical North Pole, then it is one line indicating geographical North Pole. But if you put magnetic needle here in Allahabad, in 1970, magnetic needle was not in its accordance, rather it declined west, half degree west, as it has been mentioned in question, half degree west. But in that opposite number 63G by 10, it has also been mentioned that it is changing. And as we know that the entire Indian plate is moving northeastward, hence its magnetic declination that is located in Ellesmere Point in Canada is also undergoing change, and due to its northeastward movement, geographical North Pole and magnetic North Pole are coming closer at the rate of 1 minute per year. At this rate, by about 2000, this magnetic declination might have become zero, and today, according to geomagnetic survey, the magnetic declination in spite of west has moved east. It shows that this Indian plate is moving northeastward, and Geophysical Survey of India, Bangalore, Geophysical Survey of China, all are of this conclusion on the basis of survey that Indian plate is moving northeastward and the magnetic declination of all the places is undergoing change.